Okay, we're back with the Truvox, and as you can see, we're still not completely married up with the amplifier section. At the end of the last episode, I said that I was going to put it all back together again and test it, and indeed I have done that. First of all, the good news, both the play and record circuits do appear to be working. However, there are a few issues. The first one is the main drive capstan, which is underneath this unit here. If you'll recall, we did some reconditioning on the rubber tread for that. And although that is successful in that it does drive the capstan, drives the tape through the machine, it's perhaps not as good as it could be. So we're going to do a bit more work on that. Of more concern, however, is the pinch roller. So you remember that we cleaned this roller. The rubber itself appears to be, reasonably good. However, it would appear that we do have a flat spot on here, which I can see. You might not be able to see it quite so easily. If I move it around, you might be able to see change in the texture there. And this is causing an awful lot of wow and flutter through the tape head. It's pretty much making it unusable. And now that I actually have looked at it carefully, it is quite a significant flat spot. And this is caused by it being stored with the tape engaged against the capstan roller. And over time, the rubber just hardens and doesn't spring back when it's disengaged. I've had a look online to see whether or not there's any replacement tyres available. I can't find any. This is 1 inch by about 1/2 inch with a 1/4 inch hub. So we're going to have to try and recondition this ourselves. Various ways of doing that. We can try some proprietary chemical treatments to see if we can relax the rubber, but I do think that in this case we are going to have to try and true this up. So we're going to take this out onto a lathe. Make up a little mandrel so it spins concentrically, and then very carefully, using some very fine emery paper, we're going to try and bring this back into true. So I think that's the next step. So I'm going to now take this out and put it on the lathe and see how well we can make this nice and concentric. Okay. I'll bring you back when I've done that. Okay, before I take it out to the lathe, I just thought it was a good idea just to see whether or not we can really get an idea of the damage. So I've just put it underneath the microscope. I'm going to try and link the microscope recording. And we can see the surface itself is not too bad, actually. Yeah, it's a bit old and a little bit perished, but maybe we can help that once we sand back the surface. But I'm just really looking to see where this flat spot is. Good news is there's no kind of longitudinal grooves from where the tape has been riding. Oh, here we go. There is the flat spot. That's what's causing all the bother. Doesn't look like much, but that really does make a big difference to the quality of the sound. So that's what we've got to go and try and get rid of. So yeah, I'll take it out to the lathe and we'll start in very carefully sanding it back. Okay, so I've been out and done some work on the pinch roller, made up a little mandrel to fit it on my lathe, and then really carefully, just using some 1000 grit emery paper on a very flat surface, just been and sanded and braided away the smallest amount that I can of the surface of the roller, just to try and flatten out that spot that we saw. So let's have a look and see how we did. The surface doesn't seem to have been adversely affected too much. In fact, if anything, I'd say it's marginally better. And let's see if we can spot where this was. Okay, I can just see a shadow there as to where it was, but I think we can all agree that that is an awful lot better. Good. And after I have abraded it, I've then cleaned it again. And a product that's pretty good for this is never use alcohol, IPA or anything like that, because that'll just harden the rubber. As I said before, you can use a little bit of this stuff here, so acetone. But a really good product is a thing called Rubber Renew, which not only softens your rubber but also cleans it without damaging it. So yeah, so good. That's the first bit done. And what I'll do now, probably end this video here, and the next video we'll have a look at the main capstan rubber and see whether or not we can improve that.